We'll just start this one.
Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking about the top 10 signals from a parallel universe. Before we get into the video, why don't you guys let me know if you believe in parallel universes or not? I would love to hear your thoughts. Do let me know in the comments section down below. I look forward to reading them.
I don't have strong feelings about parallel universes either way, but for the most part, I don't mind reading about parallel universes, multiverses, glitches in the matrix. Not really time travel. Simulation theory I'm really into in literature, so I'm more attracted to the fantasy aspect of it than the actual quantum mechanics. But as a thought experiment, I'm here for it. Leave your thoughts on parallel universes. This one was a subscriber request, so we'll see.
I'm actually reading the Philip Pullman Dark Materials trilogy right now. A, so good, and B, it talks about parallel universes or other worlds, so I love me some sci-fi and I'm very into this video. Also, if you guys want to connect with the team that went into making this video, you can find links to our social media in the description box down below. Alright, coming in at number 10, we have the deep space radio bursts. Mystery fast radio bursts were discovered in 2007. These bursts flash for a micro instant, but emit more energy than the sun does in 10,000 years. The high energy surges of long waves have been detected 18 times over the past 10 years, and one burst in 2012 recorded in Puerto Rico occurred numerous times in the same pattern. Okay, this is what it sounded like. After fierce debates and a lot of head scratching, the source of the sound was traced to a microgalaxy 3 billion light years away from Earth. A lot of theorists have concluded that the sound is a space signal from another world, or a parallel universe looking to get in touch. Coming in at number 9, we have the man from Taurid. Were we sent a man from another parallel universe, or did he arrive via some kind of portal or vortex? Our story here stems back to 1954, when a man was detained at the Japanese border after arriving on a plane from Europe to Haneda Airport. The man said he was on his third business trip to Japan that year, and he had a wallet filled with a mixture of currencies, seeming to verify his business traveler status. When he presented his passport, officials were absolutely baffled, asking where he was from. Now, the man, who primarily spoke French, said, "Taurid. Where is this mystery place?" He showed his passport again and the stamps that supported his travels. The only thing is, nobody had ever heard of Taurid. The company he was traveling to said that they'd never heard of him, and he was carrying a checkbook to a non-existent bank. When he was asked to point out Taurid on the map, he pointed to where Andorra is today and seemed confused and offended to be told that it's not a real country. He was detained in a hotel overnight while Japanese authorities decided what to do with him, but by morning he disappeared. Did he accidentally walk through a portal to another universe? Maybe. Coming in at number...
Whenever I hear/read stories like that, I'm left with so many questions. Is this person suffering from an illness or some sort of delusion? Did they make the whole thing up, which isn't impossible? In this case, he had a passport to back up his claim. I haven't read into the actual story, so I'm not sure what about it is true or not. Will I ever really know what happened? Probably not. But there are so many things in our universe that we don't know that I don't want to say it's impossible. Leave your thoughts on that one.
8, we have the Bernstein Bears phenomena. Also called the Mandela Effect, the Bernstein Bears phenomena claims to prove the existence of parallel universes with subtle differences. People vehemently claim that the Bernstein Bears were spelled with an E and not an A, and honestly, I for one absolutely thought that the Looney Tunes were the Looney Tunes until I watched a video on the phenomena last year, and now I'm straight up convinced that I'm living in the wrong universe, as it is clearly Looney Tunes. They're cartoons. This new world doesn't make any sense. Some people out there are also adamant that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the late 1980s, which is more than just a slightly altered timeline. It's not just spellings here, this is a pretty major parallel universe event. Coming in...
I think that could be a case of a mass amount of people misremembering. Or at least that's the example of, or the explanation for Mandela Effect that makes the most sense to me. Because it's not so out of the realm of possibility considering how fragile memory is, or suggestible. I think it's called memory distortion. But we could sit here for a good amount of time speaking about cases where person A suggests a memory to person B, then person B creates the memory in their head and believes that false claim. So, but an example of Mandela effect that does trip me out is the color chartreuse. I remember distinctly learning that chartreuse was this pink purple, almost magenta color. But now, if you Google chartreuse, you're going to come up with this yellow green color. And I have no explanation for that. Is it that the teacher who taught me that chartreuse was, we'll just say magenta, mistaken, and then everyone else that agreed with the teachers that reiterated that claim also mistaken? Or am I misremembering? I don't know. And I remember looking it up. I keep saying remember, but I do remember looking it up. It must have been a year ago or something. And people were saying, okay, but chartreuse sounds like puce, and puce is a color matte pink. That's not the chartreuse I have in my head, though. So inexplicable to me. It doesn't keep me up at night. I can't say that the word chartreuse is in my everyday vocabulary, but I think about it. Give me a Mandela effect that you think about.
At number 7, we have Deja Vu. Deja vu, a glitch in the Matrix, or a signal from a parallel universe. While both seem as likely as one another, it is thought by some that the weird moments where we feel like we've been or experienced something before are actually signals that something key is happening in our parallel lives. Not only do some people believe parallel universes exist side by side, some people think they interact with one another in some way. According to Dr. Michio Kaku, an American futurist, deja vu occurs as a result of a person's ability to flip between universes. Others believe it is because we're vibrating in unison with the frequency of another universe that's parallel with our very own. Oh, I've gone cross-eyed. Coming in at number 6, we have the Lost Beatles album. A parallel universe may have given our world a gift in the form of a Lost Beatles album, Everyday Chemistry. This story goes that in 2009, a man called James Richards found himself accidentally in a parallel universe, as you do. Luckily, there was also a person from another parallel universe there, a man named Jonas. Now, Jonas was on a trans-dimensional tourism trip from the other Earth, and he told Richards that in his world, amongst other things, John Lennon was still alive and the Beatles never broke up. Richards then stole a copy of a later album never released by the band and returned with it to our Earth. What did he do with one of the most sought after pieces of music from a non-history that almost but never happened here? He uploaded it to the internet. Eagle-eared fans were absolutely having none of it though. They said the album is comprised of clever mashups from all of the Beatles' solo careers. Richards later said that even though in an alternate universe the Beatles hadn't broke up, that didn't mean their future music ideas disappeared. I'm not so sure about this one, but I would love to hear what Paul McCartney has to say about it. Paul, tell us, is it real? I guess you're living in another universe so you don't know, but I don't know. I feel like you'd be able to answer.
Speaking of Paul, I was just going to ask if you've heard of the Paul is dead myth, hypothesis. I don't know. That Paul McCartney died in a car accident, I think it was, and then replaced with a lookalike. You can find forums and videos dedicated to proving and disproving that claim, but it's a good marketing tactic, whether it happened or didn't, because it definitely had me looking into the Beatles more than I would have.
Coming in at number 5, we have dreams. Could our dreams be signals from a parallel universe? Some say maybe. In a number of First Nations cultures in North and Central America, people believe that dreams allow us to walk planes in other dimensions. Their reasoning is that dreams take place in color and can include all of their senses. They think that when you're in a dream, you are in another world, perhaps a world you already exist in. If you're doing something strange in your dream, maybe it's a sign that actually you live a far stranger life somewhere else. Coming in at number 4, we have the bruise. Anyone else here bruise like a peach? Just me? Me? And the universe. In 2010, along with a team of researchers, Stephen Feeney of the University College in London announced that he had discovered patterns in the radiation background background left over from the Big Bang. Now this seemed to suggest that our universe bumped into not one, not two, but 4 other universes and was left bruised. Okay, what is the plural of universes? Universi? Universi? Universi. Also, from the bruising, further researchers in California think that it is clear that this leads to some kind of like bubble universe theory, which maybe I can get on board with. Maybe Men in Black got it right when they imagined us all as marbles in a big bag. Coming into number 3, we have the cold spot. In 2004, astronomers found something that baffled them, an unusually cold area of space. The area is 1.8 billion light years across and much colder than its surroundings. The area also contained 10,000 less galaxies than in other areas of a similar size studied in space. A researcher from Durham University in the UK believed that the spot could be evidence of a multiverse. They said it seemed as if a parallel universe smashed into ours, affecting it like a car pile-up on the motorway would, only they're calling it a cosmic shunt. They believed the impact was so vast it pushed energy out from a big region of space, therefore creating the cold spot. It's hard to get your head around, but that is what they think. Coming in at number 2, we have City in the Sky. In October 2015, Chinese TV went wild when thousands of residents in 2 areas of the country reported seeing a huge floating city in the clouds. Puzzled onlookers saw skyscrapers in the clouds and believed that they were seeing a ghost city or the colliding of our reality with a parallel universe. The phenomenon occurred in both Guangdong and Jiangxi, with some believing it was the beginning of an alien invasion. The images were caught on camera for the world to see and promptly went viral across the rest of the globe. So what on Earth or above Earth is going on? Well, even though it looks like a city in the clouds to you and me, apparently it is an optical illusion called Fata Morgana, which is the natural mirage. So that is what a lot of scientists are saying anyway, but other people are convinced it's a sign of a parallel universe or even a window to another world. Finally,
Yeah, that one didn't convince me. I think the mirage makes more sense.
coming into number 1, we have black holes. The theory of loop quantum gravity suggests that there is no point of singularity in a black hole, rather they're simply folds in the universe. Everything we know about quantum physics tells us that information is never lost, that energy can't be created or destroyed, so perhaps black holes don't suck and destroy, maybe they suck and create. A lot of scientists are dabbling with the idea that black holes are indeed folds or portals to an older part of the universe. Professor Stephen Hawking gave a lecture in 2015 wherein he discussed how it may be possible to come out of the other side of a black hole. He said the hole would need to be large, and if it was rotating, it might have a passage to another universe, but you couldn't come back to our universe. Anyone want to take that one-way trip? I don't know if I do. So guys, are black holes portals to another universe? This seems like a good moment to mention our sister channel Life's Biggest Questions, which answers all kinds of questions, especially like that. We love a bit of black hole chat, so head on over there where you'll hear me, you'll hear Charlotte, you'll hear Jack. Good times. So guys, that's the end of our list. Do you believe in multiverses? Let me know in the comments section down below.
She was charming. Personally, I can't say that any of those 10 examples convinced me of parallel universes, but it was fun to think about. So this is from a channel called Most Interesting Top 10. You'll find them linked in the bio. I do like the idea of another version of me existing in a parallel universe, making slightly different choices, or on a different timeline, or any of the other possibilities the parallel universe could cover. So yeah, leave your thoughts on parallel universes. And for a literary recommendation, there are a lot of books that cover it. She mentioned the book in the beginning that I haven't read that sounds interesting. I think it was a series, Dark Matter, she said. So I'll have to look into that. Where else could you find a time travel parallel universe, glitch in the matrix, black hole in literature? Harry Potter. There's this book called A Darker Shade of Magic, where they are time traveling and there are glitches in the Matrix. And in this book, the main character has three versions of London to traverse, which was interesting. But other than that, I know that there are other books. They're just not coming to me right now. So in the description, I'll make sure to make a list of books that touch on these subjects if you're interested. Or if you have one to recommend to each other, please feel free to do that. If you like shows, Rick and Morty also cover their idea of what a multiverse is. But that's all I've got. So leave your thoughts on any of this, and thank you for watching with me.